team coverage continues now with 24 Hour News 8's Heather Walker.
Heather, you spoke to a man from Wyoming who was at that concert when all of that chaos unfolded. What happened?
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. Chris Duzan, he was there on business. He had no plans actually to go to that concert, but ended up attending last minute because a friend had a ticket. 15 minutes after he got there, the first shots were fired.
And we heard what sounded like firecrackers, like somebody threw firecrackers that we all hear back in Michigan on the 4th of July.
Chris Duzan took this picture at 10:05. Minutes later, the whole scene around him changed.
We quickly realized that once it started again, there was a guy and a girl that came by us. She had a wound to her arm that it was gunfire. So we helped her, and me and my buddy, we dove over one of the tables and turned it over next to the container. And realized my buddy from his military training said, you know, we got 4 to 8 seconds to move. We got to get out of here.
Move before the shooter reloaded. But there were too many people. Duzan says other people started piling into their makeshift shelter. At the same time, bullets were flying around them.
Oh, tap, tap, tap. You could hear them hitting, and then you could hear them ricocheting.
Duzan says the shots rang out 3 different times, lasting around 10 minutes. When they stopped, he and his friend were unscathed. He says they immediately tried to help others.
You know, we checked the pulse of several people, and we found one guy who was with a girl we thought was maybe his wife, and he was, you know, had blood on his hands and on his shirt, and just, you could tell he was just totally lost. And we asked if, you know, this was his wife, if she's okay, and he said no. He sent my wife out, but this was his daughter that had died from gunshot wound, and he was just knelt down beside her.
Duzan says he saw at least a dozen people who were dead. Others could still be saved.
We loaded one lady on top of a table and put her on a cart. We put some people in like wheel carts just to get them out of there.
He says it's only by the grace of God he survived.
Angels all around me. God's watching out for me.
He certainly was, and of course Duzan is just one of many people who ran to the aid of others to help after that shooting. Brian.
My God, it sounds like there was no time to think. You just react in situations like that. He is so lucky to be safe.
Yes.